Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls, coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a cute card that I made. I saw something similar to this on a scrapbooking site, on a scrapbooking page, but I wanted to make this as a card. It's for my daughter and her wife, and it's like a little photo booth with the pictures that come out. Isn't that adorable? I think it's so cute. I love it. And it's very easy to make. So let me show you how it's made. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my background. My card blank is 5 by 6.5. So I cut a piece of black card that's just under 5 by 6.5, like by 1/8 of an inch. And then I cut a slit that is, I believe it was just over 1.5 inches, about 1 5/8 inches across. And then I basically used my craft knife and a ruler and just kind of cut 3 times. So you end up with about 1/8 of an inch wide slit. And because I need my pictures to slide through there easily, and then I just went ahead and put foam tape all the way around. I put a narrow, this is wider, I put a narrow strip of foam tape here because my film strip is fairly long, and so it's got to have room to get up there. And if I had that wide foam tape at the top, I didn't have enough room for my film strip. You know, see, it's got to go like that. So for my film strip, it's 1.5 inches wide. And then I just put pictures on it. They're pictures of my daughter and her wife, and because this card is for my daughter and her wife for their anniversary. And then I just cut a little heart and glued at the bottom, and trimmed the white card so that it was hidden. And then I just put a little tab at the top to make it a little bit wider. So that way, when my heart goes through there, see, these are going to slide out, but it's going to stop because that tab is wider than the slit. Okay, so that's important. And you want to get the slit far enough in that you can get your foam tape on there and still have room for your pictures to slide. Okay, so that's my background. Then I cut just a little strip, 3/4 inch wide by just slightly wider than that slit of silver, and I just put some foam across the top because I'm going to glue that on here once I get my pictures in there, just to kind of cover up the slit and look like, oh, this is the, you know, the little dispensing area from my photo booth. And then I've got some little decorations. Now you got to make your curtain. So I just cut a piece of red card, and this is 5 inches this way, and it's 5 3/4 this way. And I just scored at half, and then, so I went 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 1/4, all the way across, and then folded like that. And that just makes your little curtain like so. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and glue, put some glue on this just to hold it, because it's just easier to work with. So if I put a little bit of glue, just kind of, I'm going to put it at the top and part way down. I'm not going to go glue all the way down, because I want the bottom to actually be a little bit loose, but I don't want it, if you just glue the top, then it flares out so much. See how that flares out? If you don't glue in the middle, it flares out so much that it kind of didn't really fit on there very well. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down pretty good. Okay, let's leave that there for now. So I'm going to go ahead and start building my card. Oh, so my film strip, just so you know, this is about 5 inches long, and I just cut 3 pictures. I actually printed these pictures on I have one of those little Canon selfie photo printers, but you can just print them you know, anything, and then cut them down to whatever size. And if you made a bigger card, you could make a longer film strip with either more pictures or larger pictures or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and build my card. Now, before I glue this on, I got to put my film strip in. Okay, so I'm going to get that in. Now I can peel my, and when you peel your foam tape off and stick it down, make sure you don't glue this down. So you kind of have to maneuver it to make sure that it doesn't get caught up in the, and I always add a little bit of wet glue to my foam tape. So I'm going to hold on to this while I flip that over and line it up. Okay. Now, before you get that to press down, make sure this is going to move. So see, that's going to slide. Okay. It goes right in there. Okay, so that's perfect. Then I'm going to put my little cover over the edge of the film strip hole. And I've got some, I've just got some hearts that I'm going to decorate it with. Now, I'm using this as an anniversary card. It would be a really cute Valentine's Day card too, I think. And I haven't decided where I'm going to put my love yet, so we're going to leave that for now. I'm going to get my curtain out, and I'm going to put some foam tape along that top edge. And I want it kind of towards the bottom, but not all the way to the bottom. Just like that. And then I've got a little black strip that I'm going to put at the top, just to kind of hide the top of that, to hide the top of the curtain. And it's just on foam tape, and it's a 3/4 inch. And I was going to put it on the curtain, but I think I'm just going to put it right like that. It just kind of hides the top of the curtain, makes it look a little finished. And I think I might put a little bit of bling on there. I'll use the little stars. Or actually, I like these little stars too. Kind of fun. I usually try to do an odd number, and that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and there we go. Isn't that a fun card? I love that. Thanks for watching.